Rob's going to be bringing up the document. I did a one-page slide. I've got these. We can pass them around. This is my one-page slide. If you want to put any notes that you got on what I'm going to say. I made like 40 of these. We can throw them around. So my name's Frank Jablonski. I am the founder of Progressive Law Group. I have been working in opposition to many utility projects for the last 35 years as a lawyer. I represent the town of Holland, which has gotten stuck with the last transmission line that they're constructing. Marilyn Pedretti will be talking to you about the horror story of what that has imposed on their community. That we are currently challenging the Public Service Commission decision in court. We did it in circuit court in La Crosse County. We are now in the Court of Appeals. There are a few different theories, and these are theories that you should keep in mind. It's possible that the reason that the utilities have accelerated what they're doing now is because we may have a better case and they may be nervous about it, and they want to accomplish a fait accompli. The first thing that we challenged was need. All right, there's a statute that says that we're not supposed to construct transmission lines unless there's need for the state of Wisconsin, and this is a concept that was put into law back in the mid-70s, the last time that we were building a lot of transmission lines and a lot of power plants, and people didn't want this stuff constructed, and they said, you got to find need first. So what the Public Service Commission has done about need is they have taken and they have stretched that concept beyond all reason. And so what we're saying is that this is what it is. This is its history in the statute. This is why it was created. It doesn't mean something else. It doesn't mean extra renewables. It doesn't mean reliability beyond what is necessary beyond the standards. It means need, real need, and you don't have it. And the reason that we don't have real need in Wisconsin, and Rob has been excellent about this, is the question is, why do you need more wires to serve less load? This is like, you know, why do you need more wires to serve less load? The only reason that you could need, in quotes, those wires is for other purposes, and those purposes aren't in the law. So that's one of our challenges. We're also challenging, since this is an import line, we're challenging whether they can force, because the town of Holland has already gotten stuck with a transmission line, a previous transmission line, whether they can put another one on a separate transmission line corridor. One of the things that I believe the utilities are trying to do is to lock down as many of these corridors as possible while they have a friendly regulatory system in place, because they're going to put, once a corridor is established, it is likely to get more transmission lines if they can sell the concept of more transmission lines. And that is the general concept, a nationwide grid. We're going to serve New York City with a solar panel in the Mojave Desert. That's going to take a lot of wires, all right? So the third thing is also very interesting. Third thing is something that Mr. Powers is actually really relevant to, and his expertise is that we challenge the sufficiency of the environmental impact statement. We used to have planning in the state of Wisconsin. And let me tell you, when we had planning back in the 1980s, I'm old, back in the 1980s when we had planning and were one of the first states to really go heavy on planning, we had the lowest rates in the Midwest. We had the highest per capita investment in energy efficiency in the nation, and we had very economically healthy utility companies. We had all of that with planning, and then he's kind of in the late 80s and in the early 90s, everybody went crazy for deregulation. Bad idea, very bad idea for a fundamental commodity like energy. And now we've got this kind of crazy hybrid system that we've got now. Anyway, in the environmental impact statement, one of the principles of doing an environmental impact statement is that you're supposed to develop alternatives, and you are supposed to develop the alternatives to a point of reasonable comparability. And that's the expertise that the communities here could put together could facilitate the development of an alternative and then force the Public Service Commission, because it is their responsibility to ensure that the alternatives are developed to a point of reasonable comparability so that everybody can give input and so that the issues are sharply defined for the decision maker. That's the law on environmental impact statements. So those are our three main challenges for the town of Holland. ATC and the utility companies, you've heard a bunch about their tactics. One of their common tactics is what they'll do is they'll pick route options that are so incredibly anathema and so terrible that everyone is supposed to feel better when they do the other one, you know. Instead of putting it through Jesus' heart, we're going to put it through Joseph's heart. So feel much better about it. That's basically what they do. So, you know, I've done these kinds of cases for many years. There's strength in numbers. The communities, what I would really urge is that the communities that are going to be affected by this transmission line, or may be affected if it's, you know, well, you're already affected. There's strength in numbers, and one of the difficult things that you have to do is you have to figure out the kinds of things that you can all agree on, like, for example, need. You can probably all agree on that. Alternatives, you can probably all agree on that. And then the leaders, and there are always leaders who emerge, they're going to have to determine who is serious, organize together on multiple levels. Don't just get routed to the place where the Public Service Commission tries to route you, where you can go there and say something which will be dutifully written down and ignored forever. Don't let that happen. And in particular, one of the things that you could do is try to get the legislators involved before the Public Service Commission. That has happened in the past. Legislators have become parties. Their offices have become parties. Go to their offices, make trouble. Ask them why we need more wires to serve less power. And if they don't have a good answer, force them to look for it. All right? That's what I mean by acting. Respecting formalized proceedings, such as at the Public Service Commission. I can't really reproduce that. I endorse everything that's already been said. Evaluate your resources. Try to work together. Pick the issues that you're going to work on. You know, the issues may be the same issues that we worked on for the town of Holland. It may be different issues. And then get good. If you can get the communities together to put together the financing, because we've kind of been screwed out of financing. That's a different discussion. Hire advisors you can trust. Tell them what your goals are, and then trust them to go forward. And if it isn't working out, fire them. But don't micromanage them. Tell them what you want. Let them go forward. Someone like Mr. Powers has an enormous amount of expertise. Work with them to develop the alternatives to a degree of reasonable comparability, and then go pound those few issues, to pound it to the legislature, pound it to the Public Service Commission, pound it to the press, pound it to your neighbors. And it's time for us to win one of these.